Where we would charge is that if it's something that is out of our control. Did I just hit the mic? Sorry. Hey there, this is Ryan with KHB Construction. Today, we want to go over 5 reasons why change orders cost what they do. Let's get started. Number 1, we're going to go over the when and the why. When does a change order happen? Why does it happen? So a change order is a change to the original contractual scope of work for your contractor. And these happen way too often. Way too often. Even here, we've had an influx of change orders happen recently, which spurred the thought for this video. And the why factor is the customer usually wants to do something different, color-wise, design-wise, hopefully not structurally. And those changes result into a change order. And so, at least with us at KHB, a change order is usually pretty minor. We're pretty thorough on the front end of projects to get everything hashed out. And let's say we open up a subfloor and the plumbing takes an hour longer than it should because it was plumbed originally in a funky way. We're not gonna change order you. We're not gonna penny pinch 1 to 3 hours. It's a renovation, it is what it is, things happen. When we would charge is when it's something that is out of our control that the homeowner puts on us. So the homeowner wants to add a bunch of speakers or add a bunch of new lighting. That's when we would charge for that change order. So I wanted to preface the next 4 steps to let you know what a change order is, why they happen, and when they would happen. Number 2, but really number 1, on why change orders cost the way they do is a change order to the scope of work pushes your schedule. Oftentimes it pushes it just a day to create the change order depending on the size of it. And then there could be another day, 2 days, 3 days to perform that scope of work. So with that, it expands your schedule into time that was not allocated for your project. The way we run things and the way most contractors run their projects is stacked, the most efficient way you can. When we get off a job and let's say a subcontractor comes in, we're starting another one. And if you change the scope of work and you push that schedule out, you are not only changing your schedule, you are changing all of our other customers' schedules, potentially. And with that, there is a cost. We have to go through, we have to adjust those other schedules, talk to those homeowners, let them know, hey, this happened, we're gonna be a guy short, or we're gonna have to push you a day for start time on your project. And that causes them issues. It costs you more money because we have to do a lot more logistics on the schedule to get it mapped out. The third reason why your change order costs the way it does is the time allocation to get the material and source that material. Getting material is really tough. And if you change the flooring, if you change your tile, you change the solid surface, right now there's probably an 80% chance it's not gonna be available immediately. There's gonna be some lead time on there, which once again goes back to the previous reason, it's gonna push your schedule. If we have to halt work because we have to source another slab and it's still in Italy, there's obviously a lead time to get that slab over here. And that has a cost because every day we have an operating expense. So every day your schedule goes over and we are still managing that project or still have miscellaneous work going on or have to push other schedules, we have to charge for that expense. And unfortunately, that's why we hate change orders, because it's a really not fun conversation to have to a homeowner saying, hey, this change order, yeah, your material cost is $2,000, but after markup, overhead, time allocation, sourcing, ordering, getting the material and delivering that on site, like that $2,000 now is $6,500. And that's really tough to say sometimes. And I know homeowners feel like, well, you're ripping me off. And it's like, well, no, you're messing up my whole other 8 jobs going on right now. So that's the weird balance. That's the point of this video, to give you insight on our end, to let you know you're not getting ripped off. You're paying a convenience fee ultimately. So sourcing, allocating, acquiring that new material for your change order, that does go into the cost of your change order, and it's at a premium. The 4th reason why your change order costs the way it does is the paperwork involved. This is pretty minor. It usually takes, depending on the size of the change order, an hour to up to half a day sometimes for our sales team. And so that change order comes in through your project manager. Project manager consults a sales associate because it deals directly with their commission on the job. So sales actually writes up that change order, and they change all of the paperwork for our field operations. So change order happens, it is accepted. We go through all of our construction operation paperwork and amend it to reflect that change order. So that way everyone in the field can get their updated transformation takeoff sheet. We can update builder trend. We can assign the to-dos for the guys in the field so they can know exactly what this change order is going to reflect for their job. Ultimately, we need to change all of our scope of work, all of the change order documentation into field operation documentation so we can perform the transformation flawlessly and knock that change order out of the park. The fifth reason your change order costs the way it does, and this is a contingency one, is if we have to go back and touch something we already did. So let's say you want to run low voltage throughout the whole house. You want to do a surround sound system on smart switches or something crazy. That might require taking down drywall if it's a 2-story home and you want to do it on the 1st story. And let's say the drywall is taped and textured already. That is going to be a major expense. That is going to cost a lot more money than doing it before drywall went in. So your change order, depending on the time you request it, can have a higher cost than if you just said it before that trade happened. And obviously all of this is preventable if you just do it initially in the sales process and we don't ever have a change order. It's gonna be a lot cheaper than trying to change the scope of work in the field and tear out that drywall or rearrange cabinets or order a new style door and drawer or change paint or change flooring. Everything is cheaper if you do it initially in the sales process, in the original contractual scope of work. So ultimately, if we have to go back and touch something we already touched, it's more expensive because you're adding another trade already to that change order. All right, I know money conversations aren't fun, but that's the reality of change orders. I hope you see the value in it. I hope you see from our lens what we go through, what we have to accomplish to succeed in these change orders and still complete the transformation in a timely manner. If you found value, like, share, subscribe, comment, all the internet stuff, and we will see you on the next one.